I was like, what do you mean you don't have any leads? Here's what I mean. I was sitting with a client in one of our meetings, and I said, so tell me, how many leads are you working with right now? And they said that they really didn't have any leads at all. And my question wasn't how many leads do you have, it was like, how many leads are you working with right now? And they really weren't working with anybody, so I bought that. But they believed that they didn't have any leads at all. And my comment to them was, look, there are literally hundreds, if not thousands of leads. They're everywhere. In the business that you're in, there are hundreds, if not thousands of people who would want or could want what it is you offer. So let's look inside of your phone. Let's look at your contacts. Let's look around. What groups are you a member of? Anyway, what happened was, we defined a lead as anybody that you could contact to find out if there was any interest in your product or service. So suddenly that opened up a door of, gosh, there wasn't just 100 leads or 200 leads. It was like 1,100 leads. Now, they weren't all going to buy. We knew that. And so the next part of the conversation is then what? Because leads aren't just one thing. If somebody tells you that a lead is only somebody who has raised their hand, walked in your door, offered to buy, responded to one of your emails, or whatever it might be, are they a lead? Absolutely, they're a lead, but they're not the only kind of lead. So really quickly, there's a lead, then there is a engaged lead. An engaged lead is somebody that you have actually contacted, or they have somehow communicated with you or engaged with you. It could be a like on a social media post. It could be a response to an email. It could be they walked in your door. It could be a phone call. It could be anything. That would be what we refer to as an engaged lead. And of course, the goal is to move leads to engaged leads. And if you have engaged leads, the next step is to move those engaged leads, because they may be engaged, but they might not have an interest in what you're buying. So the goal is to move your engaged leads to the next level of lead, which would be a qualified lead. Okay, they're all leads, but a qualified lead is somebody who has demonstrated in some way, shape, or form that they actually have an interest, or they're predisposed to have an interest in buying, or at least looking at what you have. That might be somebody who responds with a question. That might be somebody that you send a letter to and they actually call you back. A qualified lead is essentially someone who has raised their hand and who has demonstrating in some way, shape, or form some interest in your product or service. But here's what I'm getting at. And then, of course, once you have a qualified lead, the goal is to convert that lead into a customer, and that's a conversation for another day. But here's the thing. Don't sit on your hands saying, woe is me, because you don't think you have any leads. It really depends on how you define leads. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people right now who are interested in talking to you, or at least have an interest in the product or service that you're selling or offering. If you don't start communicating with those leads and moving them through those processes, the odds are that your competitors will. So leads, you have thousands of them. Get to work.